Greetings, beautifuls, and thank you for joining me on my channel. I am Aya. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you find any of the content on this channel to be helpful. It actually does help me to grow my space. Thank you. Okay, let's get into it. So the title of this video is called, Is the Black Woman in Love with the Ghost? Now, first of all, I want to describe or break down what the ghost is. And the ghost is the concept of the Black community. And I put parentheses around the word concept because that's what it is at this point. It's a concept. So I'm going to go in a little further and I'm going to describe exactly what I mean by that. I was on social media and I've seen this for so long that it's become normal to me. And it was like only by divine decree, the other day, these words just stick out in my mind. And I was reading under a video and in the comments section of said video, and there was a huge argument, as per usual, for Black women who were saying, I'm going to pick the man that loves me, that wants to protect me, that wants to provide for me, all of the things that are natural in the energy field of any woman, even all the way down to the animal kingdom. Okay, so the same rhetoric or pressures were being thrown at the women, and they were being called names, they were being bullied, some were even being threatened, some were being threatened by God. You know, there was comment saying that God was going to get these women and send these women to hell. And really, to be totally honest, because I've heard this so much, I've been part of the programming, it just was normal, everyday conversation. But something happened the other day and it really clicked like a bomb went off in my head, and the depths of what I was dealing with as a Black woman, and what, if you are carrying that title of Black woman, what you've been dealing with as well. And that is that you don't even have the right to the reproduction of what comes out of your womb. You don't have the right to expect and desire a tangible man. But I was literally reading in the comments section that we are simply to reproduce for the ghost, the community, the Black. But there is no counterpart in that ghost. It's just whatever phantom man, how could I say it? You know, like a ghost. It's just a phantom man that's going to materialize and then leave again. And what do I mean by that? Because the Black male is not told the same thing. He's not told that he must put his reproductive energy in that Black community. He's not told that his finances must stay in that Black community. He is not told that he must protect that community at all costs. He's not told that he's going to end up in hell on mass communications on social media and all of these things on a daily basis. He's being told to exist as an individual with a brain, with desires, with preferences, as they say. He's literally being told that he's supposed to, and that only makes sense, that if he finds another woman, that he is to protect and nurture her community. He has no set community that he is being told and he's being nailed to the cross on. But she does. She does. The Black woman does. To the point now where literally our wombs are being expected to just mass produce for the ghost, for the Black community, not for a family, not for my co-creator, my partner, the man that's making me one. No, just the fact that he's Black. And just the fact that I'm to do all of the things that he doesn't have to do. I am to protect the community as the woman. I am held accountable for the so-called ills of the community. I'm held accountable alone. I'm responsible for the reproduction of the community alone. And you know, the depth of what he's telling you with that is that you are in love with a ghost. Because if you were in love with a tangible partner, he would know he was part of whatever happens sexually, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically in that community. But we're being told that he has no real place next to you. That is your community. And so you have no solidified man in which you keep crying out for, because you've been conditioned to be in love with a ghost. And the depth of this and the realness of this, when it really started to just kind of seep through my brain like water, was almost maddening. That this was not only the depth of how deep this rabbit hole goes, but the depth of how I didn't even realize it, because I am still so programmed. So I really wanted us to think and get into the depth of the awareness of everything that we're talking about, because we're fussing about single mothers and out of wedlock births. But of course we're going to have an out of wedlock birth because we're in love with a ghost. I literally am seeing young women go on to channels, some of them female channels, and they're being told that you need to stay in love with this ghost. You're already in love with the concept of this Black community, and then maybe a tangible man will float in and wrap himself around temporarily this idea that you have, and then vanish again if he decides that he found another woman of a different race. So let's look at some of the narratives that we have in this concept, in this ghost house. We have the concept of ride or die. Do you get the depth of that statement? You either be with this ghost, this phantom that has no name, that has no tangible substance for you, or you die. Because countless times we've discussed this as women, that we ride and we build and we protect and we love and we groom just to end up with the tangible part of that man leaving because he has no commitment to the ghost. So our so-called counterparts have been given a totally different script. That script for them says that there is no such thing as a community. The community is wherever Papa lays his hat. The community is wherever Daddy feels like vibing today. Daddy can marry whomever he wants because Daddy is a tangible being, and he can marry a tangible woman. He's not in love with the ghost. He was never given the ghost. But we're being groomed as women all the way into our elder years to stay loyal to the ghost. And so as little girls, we're being told that we are to martyr for the plight of the ghost, because even at 5 years old, we're responsible. So I saw the most horrendous thing. I was on Instagram, and there's a man on Instagram that has the video of a Black Lives Matter march, and there's a little girl who looks to be maybe 5 years old. She's so tiny that when they filmed her, there was a group of men behind her marching, and she's out on the street. It's like there's no one really around her. They're far back from her, But she's so small that when the camera lowered down to get her face, you can only see their crotches. That's how small this little girl is. Her tiny little arms, and she's yelling and screaming, no justice, no peace. What does she know about those words at 5 years old? Why is she being tasked? And this is what this man said underneath the video. He said, I watch this video every day to get myself motivated. Are you kidding me right now? So there's a whole row of 2 or 3 black men behind her, several feet back. And he did not find that to be his motivation as a man. No, he didn't. You know why? Because she's being groomed to be in love with the ghost. She better ride. And if she decides that she's not going to ride, then she would be better off to be dead. She's either going to be a ride or a die chick. And when she gets left with her multiple baby daddies or her multiple children or her bad community, her unsafe environment, it's going to be all her fault. So somehow at 5 years old, this little girl is already so tense and so angry, and she's going to be told, well, that's the reason why I don't want you, because you're angry, and look at your community, look at your lover. But she's not being told that you can't be in love with a ghost. And if she starts to wake up to this concept in the next 15 years, she's going to be brutalized. She's going to be called names, and she may even be threatened, to the point where I read something that said, you black women are going to go to hell. And God is going to banish you and shame you for having the audacity to expect a tangible partner in your life. To expect to be provided for and protected, to be expected like the hen in the hen house, to be able to nest in a safe environment in which to raise your children. I read that many times over in comment sections where people were saying, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you can expect to walk down the street on a beautiful sunny day with your child, your infant in the stroller, your house dog, the family dog strolling calmly beside you, and your toddler just looking around and talking to you about the sun and the trees and the squirrel running up the sidewalk? Who are you to believe that you deserve that? Because you are supposed to be in love with the ghost, and there is no tangible partner. There is no one responsible for that community but you, because it's a ghost. And we've become such lovers of the ghost that we're literally willing to sacrifice ourselves and our daughters, only our daughters. Because we know better. We've been groomed in the grooming process that the men, our sons, they have no allegiance, and they're not supposed to. Our fathers, our uncles, and our male cousins, it's okay. It's okay. They come and they go like a ghost. But we are to be the only tangible thing in the haunted house. And this is just amazing to me. It's amazing to me because I consider myself to a degree intelligent. And I was so enamored. It wasn't even triggering me to the depth that I'm really have been put into a slave mentality, where I'm literally, my womb, my works of art, anything that I create goes to the ghost. And the ghost has the right to distribute it amongst whomever he feels, whomever he pleases, at whatever time he should feel to do so. He shows up, and everything that we create due to the traumas of being in the situation. So we come up with some very unique things like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was made manifest by 3 particular women, but those women represented a collective of women, of Black women's mindset for hundreds of years now. But what's so unique is that as women, we didn't say we are going to form an organization that is going to protect us as women, because that is our most inalienable right. We don't have big burly hands. We're delicate. We're feminine. We're the creative principle. We're the seed inside the shell. But instead of that seed recognizing that it's not being protected and it's not being provided for, and creating a system, because that same Black Lives Matter should have been directed toward us. And again, we can say about these 3 women, but let's be honest today, that was a collective of all of our energies. They were the ones that just manifested it. And when I say all of our energies, I mean all of the Black women's energies for hundreds of years. That's been chanting through our DNA. But we said when we manifested Black Lives Matter, which disgusts me, when we manifested Black Lives Matter, we manifested it to protect the ghost. And I can understand now why we manifested it to protect the ghost, because the ghost is all we have. So when we're being told that the ghost is being threatened, and they tell us that in the form of, that could be your father, that could be your brother, that could be your uncle, da 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 da. It's the ghost, because we don't have anything other than the ghost. And so the fear started to come in when certain women started to wake up and they said, I think I'm actually really here. I think I'm here as a real woman, and I desire a real man. And that man may not be in the Black community. Just like my counterpart over there. He found love around the corner. And everyone told him, yes, brother, that's correct. That's right. Because you're a living being. You can't marry a concept. So when certain women started to say, you know what, I think I'm just like him, and I'm starting to feel the essence of my femininity, and it's no good for me to be able to just mate with a ghost. I can't use my womb and literally create and birth for the concept of a community, which later I'm going to be responsible for on my own, which later I'm going to be held accountable when things go wrong on my own. And if we get the depth of why he's telling us it will be on our own, is because he knows that he is tangible and he's not the ghost. You're in love with nothing. You're in love with a concept, and the concept is so ingrained in you because the Black male extracted himself from the concept many hundreds of years ago, maybe thousands of years ago. And so you've just been in a psychosis, being told over and over and over again that there was going to be something coming, and something was going to be coming, and something was going to be coming, but it never came. So your brain naturally does the next best thing, which is to create an imaginary friend or the ghost. The community, the concept of the so-called Black community, is filled with nothing but the Black woman, and that's why he keeps telling you it's all your fault. It's your community. It's your community. It's your community. It's your community. Because even if he's in the community, he's a ghost. There's no solidarity to that relationship. So I'm here to say no. I'm here to say it's time for you to recognize that you are tangible and you deserve love. You are love. You have shown this world and the ghost nothing but love. You've taken bullets. You've taken beatings. You've had your breasts ripped off of your chest by dogs. You've cried when no one cared. You screamed the loudest. You're out here pumping your fist as the young and the old. But you deserve to walk outside with your baby in the stroller in a neighborhood that's well lit, well protected. You deserve to have a tangible man in your life. You deserve to be married. You deserve to feel protected in your neighborhood. You deserve to have a man's voice on the other end of the phone if you've had a rough day, if you're feeling stressed out or you're crying or there's someone scary at the door. You have the right to say, my husband will return your call. You have the right. You cannot continue to be in love with the ghost. So I'm hoping something I said today in this short video, I'm hoping it will start to trigger you and maybe your granddaughter or your daughter to understand that you are not black first and you are not to be black only. You were born a beautiful living being first. And you have the right to exist as that. Expect it and accept it as your right to be. Beautiful and intact and loving as you are. Thank you for watching. I am Aya. And if you found anything on this channel to be helpful, please like and subscribe and share these videos to help me grow my channel. Because I really feel some of the messages that I'm getting, I need to share to help other women. Thank you again, and leave your comments below.